it through the computer speakers.
Dr. Van, any more cruises in your future?
Going on one in November.
You gotta wait all the way till then?
Well, I did. It's one a year is enough. We're going to go the first week in November again. We're going to leave out of New Orleans and cruise around the Caribbean and come back.
That's great. We're going to Sicily for the first time this year. My family, my husband and I, my daughter, and her boyfriend. We're not taking a cruise. This is just
Well, it's
but yeah.
It's a beautiful place. There's one of the prettiest beaches is where my grandfather was from, a little place called Cefalù.
We're going there.
It's one of the most beautiful beaches you'll see in Sicily.
Yeah. We're going there right after we go to after we see Palermo, we're going to Cefalù. We're gonna rent a car.
You see if you can get down to Partana, because that's where all the beautiful olive trees and olive oil companies are.
Partana,
Partana, I think Partana is the name of the town.
Partana, olive groves. Okay.
Tracy, you should have the link.
Yeah, I posted it and I went to test it. It looks like it's going to an old link, but let me try again. Okay. We're good to go.
Tracy, did I hear you say we were good to go?
Yes.
Okay, Miss Ingrid, have at it.
Okay, very good. Good morning, everybody. A meeting of the Louisiana State Board of Medical Examiners Occupational Therapy Advisory Committee pursuant to lawful notice is duly convened and called to order at 10:03 a.m. Friday, May 9th, 2025 via Zoom virtual video. Please note any comments by the public are welcome and can be emailed to publiccomment@lsbme.la.gov. Dr. Van, please confirm that you have verified the identity of all tele and video conference participants. I think you're on mute, Dr. Van.
Thank you. Glenn, you are signed in twice. Do we need 2 sign-ins for you, or is somebody using it for you?
I need it twice because the audio is on my phone, but in case you guys share anything with your screen, it's easier to see on my computer.
Okay, I just didn't know if that was the way you wanted it. That's fine. Thank you.
Yeah, sorry for that. Yeah.
No, that's sorry. I just want to make sure we did. That was the only question I had.
Okay.
Otherwise, everything seems to be documented.
Is the sound clear and audible to the public and those on the tele and video conference?
Yes.
Yes.
All additions to the executive or public agenda must be made presently, as we will no longer make additions to the agenda after the close of the public session. I'm now going to review the mission. The mission of the Occupational Therapy Advisory Committee is ultimately to protect the public, i.e. the consumers of occupational therapy, by regulating competent practice and upholding the standards set forth by the governing rules and regulations. Members present are as follows: Ingrid Frank, Carolyn Murphy, Glenn Wallace, Mary.
That link you sent me when I posted it, and then I went and clicked on it, it kept bringing up, and then
Tracy, can you mute yourself?
I think she got it. Mary Green Keys, Raylena Crooks, Kelly Brandon, Kim Solari. And I think that's it. And it looks like we have Melissa Genders, who I know is new and will be working with Jacinta. And thanks, Melissa, for helping out OT. Glenn, can you confirm that we have a quorum? Glenn, we just need to have more than 5. Can you
Sorry,
confirm?
sorry. Yeah. Is she, you said she's going to be late?
Gonna be late, yeah,
Okay. But yeah, that's a quorum.
thank you. Also present is Dr. Vincent Collada, Executive Director of LSBME, Patricia Wilton, LSBME Executive Counsel, Tracy Morrow, LSBME IT Specialist, Phyllis Johnson, Licensing Analyst Supervisor. I'm not sure if Jacinta's on. Melissa Genders is on.
And Angela Boudreau, who is the new occupational therapist analyst.
Oh, okay. Wow, wonderful. I did not know we had that new addition. Very good. Angela Boudreau. All right, thank you. I just want to make sure before we go any further that the agenda does include the executive session. When I looked through the clown agenda, it looked like there was an executive session. I just want to make sure that it is on there already, right?
There
Okay.
is,
Yeah.
yes.
Yes.
It's on your screen now, ma'am.
All right. Well, we will start with old business. And look at the minutes from our meeting on March 7th. We had introductions, etc. We approved the old minutes. We got a update on the rules revisions. We got an update about the temp permitting law from Dr. Collada. Dr. Collada expressed concerns about data security with the compact. That was a big discussion. Then we talked about the OTAC members whose terms are going to be expiring, and agreed that we needed to put out a call for new members in these specific areas. And I believe that might be the whole thing. We did have a discussion about who can modify a treatment plan, OT versus OTP. And pretty much that would have to be a discussion for a later revision of rules. Right now, we kind of have it the way we have it. And that was everything. So can I get a motion to approve the minutes?
I'll motion to approve it.
All right, Glenn motions to approve it. A second?
This is Raylene. Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, Raylene.
Okay.
Okay, I think we have a second from Raylena. All in favor of approving the minutes, please say aye.
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 Any opposed? Okay, any public comment?
None at this time.
All right, the minutes are approved. All right, we will move on to our first order of our next order of old business really is just to get another update on the status of the of our rules from Dr. Van or from Patricia, whoever has information for us.
Hey, it's Lauren. I sent them off we finally got the review of the regulatory stuff back from the AG's office. They really looked at every single point and they approved that there was no antitrust issue and we have no concerns. And so that the process has started. It will be published in a register, which comes out on May 20th, and then it will go into effect on final promulgation.
Great.
So we're done.
So the governor is not necessarily going to sign it, but that's okay.
If he doesn't have any problems with it, it's got to be a problem.
Yeah, and I haven't heard anything. They're aware of it. They've looked at it. We started sending them. Emily Andrews over at the governor's office started requesting us to send the rules ahead of time so that we're not in a veto situation. We're in a like, let's correct it before we get to that part. And so like, there's no issue.
Great.
Yep.
Lauren, on after it's published in the register, would you mind sending a link of that to me so that you know we can let people know about the fact that it's now published? I just don't know how to find things like that, you know, like the register.
It will be published online, and then we can send it around to y'all.
Yeah, we can send it. No problem.
Thank you. All right, well, that was good news. Does anybody else have any questions? Anyone from OTAC have any other questions about the rules? Okay. Any public comment?
None at this time, ma'am.
Okay. Oh, one thing about the rules I did want to bring up, that this is just an FYI. It's not got nothing to do with this per se, but as y'all know, we included in the new rules that OTs have to take an ethics course every year, and that it needs to be a course that's approved by either the NBCOT, AOTA, or LOTA. I received an email from Jennifer Lucky, who's the president of the LOTA, the other day, and the LOTA plans on creating an ethics course of their own, which I thought was a good idea. And they are interested in knowing what are the most frequent ethical issues that OT practitioners come up against so that they could incorporate those into any course that they create.
I think the best thing to do with that is to ask the LOTA to send us a public records request for statistics on the kind of disciplinary actions we take with OTs, and we can get that back to them.
Got it. Okay. All right, the next thing on the agenda was to again get an update from Dr. Van or Lauren regarding the status of changing the wording in our law in regards to temporary permitting.
That is still pending. We have not taken it out because we have not changed the law yet. It exists, and we will continue to keep it in rules, but it's just the request, the change would only be we don't have to always do it, and we're going to try and hold that in abeyance for urgent situations when we need it to adequately protect the public. And that's really all I have to say about that, pending, you know, right now there's legislation going on, and we won't know until the end of the session what happens.
Okay. We won't know till the end of this legislative session.
Right.
So I have a quick question because we're having graduates come up. And I missed last meeting and I haven't had a chance to listen to the meeting, but are there no temporary permits being given?
At the present time, we will by law issue temporary permits. The question is, tell me why they need them. When can they take their test?
Well, that's the question. And what I've been telling them is that they may not be given a temporary license. So.
Well, again, let me ask a question. If they fail the test and they have to take it again, do you want to give them a temporary permit operationally? Do you think that's a wise idea?
No, probably not.
We've already voted that we agree with this change.
Yeah, I know.
Like
but again, operationally, I just want to make sure we apply it in a way that you're comfortable with it.
Yeah, I mean, they can still apply for it. I'll just point this out, Carolyn, with our rules probably going into effect on May 20th. If you do recall that in our rules, we tightened up the temp permitting and they can no longer reapply. So it's only can last for 1 3-month period and then they cannot reapply. So that will be a change that we probably should be telling our graduates who are planning on applying for the temporary permit. Because it looks like that will go into effect on the 20th. Am I interpreting that correctly, Dr. Collada?
Yes, you are.
So I had somebody this morning saying she's not going to test until September because she wants to be prepared. So she's going to get a temporary permit, apply for that. And I told her, I was like, I don't know, you might just need to go ahead and test as early as possible because don't know that there will be a temporary permit issued. So that's why I wanted to make sure I have it straight.
And that's not really a criteria or justification or that we ever considered that they just want to study a little harder, but they want to work in the meantime. It's more been an issue of whether there was some barrier or obstacle to the test or if they didn't pass it. So that's, I mean, kudos to them, that person who wants to put forth best effort, but she probably just needs to spend that time studying, not working.
Yeah, that's what I said. Okay, thank you.
Okay, so we won't know about that change of that. Right now, people can still apply for the temp permit and we won't know about changing the law until the end of the legislative session. Any public comment?
None at this time, ma'am.
All right. Now it's another update again that we need from Dr. Vingham, this time regarding the compact. And last time you gave us a pretty big update about data security, and I just wanted to see if was there any new information that you have.
Well, with your support, several of the other states chimed in at the next meeting, and everybody believes that the way they're doing it is wrong. And so now they're reevaluating it. Unfortunately, I was indisposed medically when they had the meeting most recently, but the update that I got was the rules committee agreed with what was going on, and they need to change the systems. And I will tell you, they're in a process of reevaluating the current contractor, and I think probably that contractor will be able to continue. But the way the contractor envisioned it is not the way that, after we presented these issues and the other members, other state representatives said that felt very much like you all did, that unless you really wanted to be in the system, you need not be in the system because it's a potential breach of security. It could affect anybody. So they're all working on that right now, and I think they've backed off from the original way, and we're just going to have to wait and see what happens. But I anticipate that they're going to be going to a system like we use with most of the other compacts. They request the data, we send it. Otherwise, it's not going to be just sent up all the time.
That's great news. That's good. I'm glad they heard you.
Well, again, it was interesting because as soon as I really said, I talked to my committee, this is how they feel, all of a sudden several of the other people from the other states said, we feel the same way. So
Break the ice. Thank you, Dr. Van. All right, any public comment on that?
no, ma'am, none at all.
Okay. Our next agenda item is talking about our appointment of another more OTAC members. Just as a reminder to everybody, we have 3 people rolling off at the end, completely rolling off at the end of 2025: Kelly Brandon, Kimberly Solari, and myself. I have personally received 5 emails requesting more information. We sent out the letter. The letter got sent out as an email blast. Hopefully you guys all saw it. I don't know, about 5 weeks ago, probably. And on it, it says to turn your resume in to Jacinta, but that if you have questions, to contact me. And I did get 5 OTs who sent me questions. And I was hoping they all sounded positive about applying. But it looked like when I looked at the agenda that only Savannah Alford has actually applied. Is that correct?
Jacinta,
Yes,
is that the
that's
only one you've received?
Yeah, that's correct. That's the only application that I received. And I just made sure, like, prior to the meeting with adding Savannah, that I double checked to see if there was anybody else, but there's not.
And there's not. Darn. I had 4 other people all reach out to me for information, and they all sounded positive. So we need more people. Should we do another email blast?
Draft a letter, I'll send it.
Okay, yeah, we can just use the same one, but I'll resend it. I think we
We'll
should,
update it. Update it.
it's definitely been 4 weeks since we sent
Yes.
it out. So I think it'll be time for another. With only one, actually just sent, well, everybody has access to this, and can download her resume. But I guess I had envisioned that we would have multiple resumes and that we would all be given access to them and that we could review them prior to our, not this meeting, but say prior to our July meeting and have a discussion about them at that time. So guess everybody could download this resume and hopefully over the next 2 months between now and July 25th, we'll get more. And when we meet in July, we will have enough that we can review and pick from. Unless anybody wants to do it differently.
You may just want to give them a deadline in the new email blast that you send as well.
Good idea. Some of the people who wrote to me asking for more information are people that I know, and some of them weren't. But I was definitely hoping because I like the 3 that I know are really, really strong people that would be great on OTAC. Okay, the last thing that we have before executive session is I think we might have brought this up at the last meeting. I'm not sure or if it's something that I thought of afterwards. I can't remember. But I'm interested in creating some sort of a document where with these new rules going into effect, where we can track the kinds of questions that OT practitioners repeatedly ask for clarification or interpretation, or that they have an issue with, so that the future OTAC is in a position 3 years from now, when it's time to revise the rules again. I believe we put in a time frame of every 3 years that OTAC would review the rules. And that there would be like an ongoing list in a way of the most common concerns. I drafted an example of what I'm talking about. I'm gonna, can I share the screen with something I drafted?
Sure, let me stop here.
Oh, where'd it go? Can everybody see that? I can see Carolyn's face. Carolyn, can you see it? Yeah, okay. So this is just something that I was envisioning, that as questions or concerns come in, we would track the date, the name of the therapist, either the section number of the rules or some sort of descriptor of what section of the rules that is being talked about. A brief description of what their question was or what their issue was, and then a brief description of how the OTAC wound up responding or how the board wound up responding. And this could be something that somebody on OTAC keeps track of, or somebody who works at LSBME. I mean, I just wanted to bring up this concept so that we are a little bit more intentional, I guess, also with consistency with responses, so that when somebody requests clarification or an interpretation, we have it written down somewhere how we responded, so that a year later, when somebody asks the same question, we're consistent in how we respond. So that was one piece of it. And then the other was simply, like, again, for like 3 years from now, when what areas do people not get, that we need to make better? So I'm just open for any feedback about this idea from anybody.
I think it's a good idea, especially if questions get asked and, we have OTAC members that are, sunsetting and new members that we're going to onboard. Something like this that remains consistent would be really helpful.
Okay, good.
I agree. And I don't know if it could be some sort of shared document that, because how would we get that? I might get this set of questions and, Ingrid, you might get another set of questions. So how would we get that on there?
Well,
Yeah.
if let me think about it. What we may be able to do is, are any of you all using Microsoft, or are you all on Apple?
Microsoft.
All right. What we can do is we can set up a OneNote notebook that can be shared among us, the agency people that need to see it, and y'all. And what we would ask is, if you get questions, we'll add them once it's been discussed at the meeting, and we'll keep this. And thank you for designing this form, and we'll keep that available for everybody to be able to share and look at. That has the ability to share OneNote. And if you're using Microsoft, we'll send you the invitation. All you have to do is join. But if you don't mind, we'll plagiarize this, get it set up, and then we won't put anything on here until we have the question and the answer, and then we'll put it in, and we'll do that at the end of every meeting. How's that?
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Jacinta, you think that'll work for everybody?
Sounds like it would, yeah.
Yes.
All right, great. Well, that's what we'll do. Jacinta if you'll send Jacinta that by email, that little form by email, we'll get it to her.
Okay, great. Well, that's any public comment.
And let me check real quick. None at this time.
All right, that ends our old business and new business. So I think I'm gonna stop the share so that we can go back to the I guess the agenda for the executive session. We have one matter that requires an executive session. Can I get a motion to enter executive session?
I motion to enter it.
Okay, that was Carolyn.
Second.
Second. I'm sorry, who was that?
Mary.
Mary, thank you. All in favor of entering executive session? Please say aye.
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 Any opposed? Okay, then we will now enter executive session at 10:28 a.m.
Dr. Van, is the meeting over?
No, the meeting has gone into executive session.
Okay. I'm sorry. I apologize. I was having trouble getting on.
Sorry about that. Yeah, we just came out of executive session. Okay, on the matter of licensee number 46026. I forget how I'm going to phrase this.
You need a motion.
Yeah, that's right. I need a motion to approve the continuing education units that were provided by the applicant for reinstatement of their license. Can I get a motion to approve those CEUs?
This is Mary. I move for approval of the CEUs as presented by the applicant.
All right, and a second?
This is Raylina. I'll second.
All right, all in favor of approving the CEUs provided by the applicant, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, the decision is that the CEUs that were provided by the applicant will be accepted for reinstatement of their license. That gets us to the end of our meeting. Our next OTAC meeting will take place on Friday, July 25th at 10 o'clock a.m. via Zoom virtual video. Is there any public comment?
Let me check one last time, ma'am. None at this time.
All right, and then the meeting is adjourned at 10:41 a.m. And I hope everybody has a great weekend. And
Happy
nobody's,
Mother's Day to all of the people that need that
Thank
happy.
you.
And
yeah,
thanks for all the help and work that you give the agency.
Yes, sir.
thanks y'all. Bye.
Thank you.
Have a good weekend. Bye.